All right, let's do another example of process costing. Now we're going to look at Double Eagle Corporation. It says they produced the prestigious Double Eagle golf ball in one department using the process costing system. At the beginning of January, 10,000 golf balls were in work in process. During January, 20,000 more golf balls were started. The ending work in process included 6,000 golf balls, which were 100% completed for direct materials, 75% completed for direct labor, and 75% completed for overhead. And then the following table lists the cost information for Department A. It gives us the beginning work in process, so this is the material, labor, and overhead costs that we had in those 10,000 golf balls that were beginning work in process, and then costs that were added during the month. So before we answer these questions, let's go and do the process costing template first. All right, so first thing we always have to do is start with the physical flow. So we know that beginning inventory, there was 10,000 golf balls in work in process. It says during January, 20,000 more golf balls were started. So that was the units added. It's always this started. So if I add this up, I get total to account for of 30,000 golf balls. And remember, these total to account for have to equal. So I can automatically go down and fill in this area as well. It tells us that the ending work in process includes 6,000 golf balls. So my ending work in process was 6,000 golf balls here. But it doesn't tell us how many were transferred out. Well, I can back into this number because I know this has to equal 30,000. So if I take the 30 less the 6,000, I can back into it and find that 24,000 golf balls were completed and transferred out, which actually will answer our question number 1. But let's not worry about the questions yet. Let's first finish the table. So my next step is I have to compute the equivalent units. So remember, the equivalent units is what, if I combined all the efforts of all the work we've completed, what would that be in whole units? Well, if these golf balls were completed and transferred out, we know they're finished. So that means I worked on 24,000 golf balls in regards to materials, 24,000 golf balls in regards to labor cost, and 24,000 golf balls in regards to overhead. This line will always be the case that it's the same number across the board. It's the ending work in process that gets tricky. So these 6,000 golf balls, since they're an ending work in process, that means they're not finished. It does say they were 100% complete for direct materials. So I know these are 100% complete in regards to direct materials, but it says they're only 75% complete in regards to direct labor. So if I took 6,000 golf balls and laid them all out and they were 75% complete, that's the equivalent of taking 6,000 times 0.75 and saying that's the equivalent of having 4,500 fully completed golf balls. MOH was the same thing. It was 75% complete. So if I had 6,000 golf balls that's 75% complete, if I take 6,000 times 0.75, that's the equivalent of 4,500. So now what I want to do is add up the equivalent units that I've worked on in regards to each category. So I've worked on a total of 30,000 golf balls in regards to materials. I've worked on a total of 28,500 golf balls in regards to labor, and the same for overhead. All right, so actually let's just scroll down and see if we can answer our questions. So question 2 said, calculate the equivalent units for materials in the ending work in process. So in the ending work in process, we worked on 6,000 equivalent units for materials. Question 3 asks, calculate the equivalent units for labor in the ending work in process. The key word here is in the ending work in process, which comes out to 4,500. And then finally, question 4 asks, calculate the equivalent units for overhead in the ending work in process, which is 4,500. So it's very important to read the question closely. Now, step 5, 6, and 7, we got to calculate the cost per equivalent unit, which is going to be this gray area down here. So before we can do this, we got to go back up and fill in more of the diagram. So first up here, cost computations. C, D, and E is always going to be in dollars. So this part C is just literally putting information given to us. So it tells us that beginning work in process here, we had $10,000 of material cost. We had $2,000 of labor cost and $3,200 of overhead. So the total dollar amount we had in those 10,000 golf balls we had in beginning inventory is $15,200. Now remember, those 10,000 golf balls in beginning inventory, they're not finished yet, but this is how much money we have in them up to this point. Then cost added during the period, $20,000 of material, $5,125 of labor, and $8,200 of overhead. So once again, if I add those up, the total amount of cost we added came to $33,325. So the magic number, what we're trying to do here, is we're trying to take $48,525 and divide it up to the 24,000 golf balls that we completed to the 6,000 golf balls left in any inventory. So we know how much money we have in both. And let's go through here and tally up the total amount of direct material cost I have, the total amount of labor cost, and the total amount of overhead. Okay? So now we can begin calculating our cost per equivalent unit. So once again, we'll just try and calculate how much material do we have in every golf ball. Well, we have $30,000 in material cost. We worked on a total of 30,000 golf balls. So that comes out to, we have $1 of material cost for every golf ball. We have $7,125 of labor cost, and we worked on 28,500 golf balls. So that comes out to, we have 25 cents of labor cost for every golf ball. And then finally, we had $11,400 of overhead cost divided by the 28,500 golf balls we worked in overhead. It comes out to 40 cents of overhead cost for every golf ball. So now let's go back to our questions. So 5, calculate the cost per equivalent unit for materials. So that is $1. 6, calculate the cost per equivalent unit for labor. That comes out to 25 cents. And overhead, calculate the cost per equivalent unit for overhead, which comes out to 40 cents. And then if I add these all up, the total cost for one golf ball is $1.65. So now we know this. Once again, our goal is to take this $48,525 and divide it up to the 24,000 golf balls that we completed versus the 6,000 golf balls that are still in any inventory. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first work on these 24,000 golf balls. So what I'm going to do, I have $1 in every golf ball. We worked on 24,000 that we completed and transferred out. So I have $24,000 in the golf balls of materials. We had 25 cents of labor costs for every golf ball. We completed 24,000. So that's $6,000 of labor cost. Then we had 40 cents of overhead costs in every golf ball. We had 24,000 we completed, which comes out to 9,600. So if I take the total of this, the total dollar amount we had in those 24,000 golf balls is $39,600. Now, how much money do I have in those 6,000 golf balls that we haven't completed yet? Well, we have $1 material cost for every golf ball. We worked on 6,000 in regards to materials, so that's $6,000. We had 25 cents of labor costs for every golf ball. We worked on 4,500 in regards to labor, so that's $1,125. And then we had 40 cents of overhead costs for every golf ball. We worked on 4,500. So that gives me $1,800. So if I go through and add this up, we had $8,925 and those 6,000 golf balls that we haven't completed. And remember what I said, that these two numbers should be very close, and they actually come out even perfect, and the reason is we didn't have any rounding over here. So question 9 asks, what is the cost of the golf balls completed during January? Those 24,000 golf balls that we completed was $39,600. It's not only important to be able to complete the table, but to be able to know what numbers the table is telling you. And then question 10, what is the cost of ending work in process inventory? So up until now, those 6,000 golf balls, we have $8,925. So this wraps up this section of the lecture. Process costing is not easy. Use the templates. I have uploaded the completed templates for these two problems as well. So if you want to study them, which I highly recommend doing, and print off the blank templates when you're working on your homework. And of course, please feel free to come see me if you have any questions. Have an excellent evening.